Hello, my name is Israel again, and today I'm going to show you my list for my current um, English format Nubatama, like it's Daihouzan. Since the ban of since the um, basically Order Colony almost died, and I don't really need to use Shiranui anymore for the superior ride. To be honest, I think that's the only way to counter. One of the reliable ways to counter Order Colony. If you're still playing the Japanese format and you're playing Nubatama, Shiranui is decent. Yeah, you cannot call tokens, but at least you still can attack the Vanguard. Superior riding is a thing. So you can hold off with superior riding with the Shiranui stuff, with the triple rare Shiranui, and then when you need it, you superior ride. It's not efficient, but it works. You're not gonna stride, but I mean you can stride, but unless you have Dismal, and even then. But yeah, I think it's one of the reliable ways to counter Order Colony with Nubatama. Well, not counter, to play around Order Colony with Nubatama. Anyway, yeah, I'm gonna start with the grade threes. By the way, this is for English ban list in mind. So yeah, not Japanese. I know I'm using Japanese card, but this is for the English ban list. I run one Zanki, not yeah, one Zanki, three Mizukaze for Daihouzan. By the way, I'm not gonna explain the cards that have been explained to death by many other people. I'm just gonna explain the things that's important. Well, not important. The one that I think people forgot or people usually don't see every day. So yeah, Daihouzan. I don't. Again, I'm not gonna explain what Daihouzan does because it's been explained to death. But what I'm gonna explain is this is just passive advantage. Daihouzan gives you a plus by minusing your opponent from nothing. Probably one of the best cards in Nubatama. It pluses you of nothing. No, it minuses your opponents of nothing. So yeah, Daihozen. Run it as a playset because this is a Daihozen deck after all. And then I run 3 Mizukaze. I don't need to explain what Mizukaze does. It's been explained to death again by a lot of people. And it's your finisher too. It's your only way to finish your opponent. To be honest, your only reliable way. This card is very nice. Yeah. By the way, I don't want to say like I know a lot of people hate this card, but to be honest, I cannot blame them. But then again, we have Stanvers existing. We have Narukami existing. We also have we have a lot of stuff that exists. So Mizukaze, even though Mizukaze is a card, Nuba is not a tier one deck. Uh, tier two max. I want to say Nuba is tier three and a half because it's decent. It does its job, but you get countered so hard by a lot of things. And then I run one Zanki. I'm gonna explain what Zanki does because not a lot of people know. At least a lot of people forgot that this card exists. So keyword dominate. The first skill is a keyword, which is a dominate keyword. Auto on Vanguard circle. When this during your turn, when this unit is placed on the Vanguard circle or when you stride, choose one of your rear guards. It gains 2000 power, and then you dominate it, stand it, and then it attacks anything. It attacks your opponent's units. So basically, it when you place it, it gives two attacks if you're going to stride. But um, yeah, this is basically four attacks or five attacks plus one attack basically. It works with a lot of things. Well, with one thing, and the thing that you're gonna use a lot of the time. I'm gonna explain to it when we come to strides. Nuba player, no, premium players that already fought Nuba or know what Nuba does, know what greed 4 I'm referring to. The second one, also that's the first skill. The second skill is auto on Vanguard Circle. Uh, at the beginning of your ride phase, you may pay the cost. The cost is all plus one. If you do, you draw one card. Then all fighters choose a card from their hand, and then they call it to the Riga circle. Your opponent may not use any auto abilities for this call. Um, Let me explain. This card is a bit weird in terms of order. A lot of people think that you can wait for your opponents first to call, then you call something. No, with with this one, and a lot of both players call thing. Um, yeah, this is a bit weird. Like I know, says I'm saying that this is a bit weird, but you need to declare what are you gonna call first. Then your opponent calls up. You cannot just hold your cards. You cannot just wait for your opponent to call. You must call first, because player priority the and yeah, this is this I run this card for two reasons. One, free attack when striding. The free attack when striding. Who doesn't want free attack when striding? The second skill is purely for Mizukaze. Well, not purely for Mizukaze, but it's mainly for Mizukaze. Or if I need counter blast, I need it for Sakura Fubuki. I'm going to yeah, I'm run yeah. It gives you counter blast when you need it, and it's at the beginning of the right phase, not the stride phase. So yeah, if you need to counter blast for something, you can, and you have one face up, you can go to Sakura Fubuki, get the extra counter blast, and then do your stuff later. This enables a lot of the things. This enables a lot of your stuff because not all the times that you're gonna have two face up cards in damage, but a lot of the times you're gonna have one face up damage. Also, a lot of the times you're not gonna have any face up, and sometimes that sucks. But this enables you to have that one counter charge of Sakura Fubuki or the immediate Mizukaze fuck you thing. Yeah, a decent card to run. It's a grade 3. I mean, it's a tech choice, but you're running it as a one-off. This deck I'm running as a one-off. A lot of decks run it as a one-off too, or sometimes two, sometimes three. I don't recommend you playing a playset because it's an 11k base. I don't need to explain more why 11k base sucks. So yeah. By the way, off to the grade 2s now. I have two Ungai. I'm gonna explain why later on why I run two 12k vanillas. I run three Magatsu Gale and I run four playset of Yamishibuki. I'm not gonna explain what Yamishibuki does. No, I run it as a playset because this is a Daihouzan list. That's it. I don't have anything else. It's a very versatile card. Three Magatsu Gales. I don't run four because you have a lot of good great ones that you wanna run in this meta, especially in this meta. I'm going to explain to you why. Um, so yeah, this is usually the staple grade 2s of Nubatama. You can guess why I run this as a 4 off and Mishibuki as a playset, and I run Magatsuge as a 3 off. I don't want to explain why. Ungai. I don't need to explain it again why Ungai is played. Ungai is Ungai. I run it as a 2 off. A lot of decks run it as a 2 off. I can't claim him, it's a good card. It's an equalizer. The 2 off case I need to explain. So in this meta, especially in the current meta before emergency ban list, I have got feelings there's going to be an emergency ban list. Don't ask me how I know. I have my answers, personal answers that I don't want to tell you. But this is to counter Spike Brothers and especially to counter ripples. Being a 12k vanilla is valuable, especially when you're grade 2. Ripple wants your opponents to go to grade 3 to go to their value stuff. With this grade 2, you disable them. Well, at least prevent, like, hold off the inevitable for like one more turn, because the 12k vanilla against a Ripple deck doesn't really do much. But this buys you time. This especially buys you time. In the current days where not a lot of, or where you don't damage in you you basically rush your opponents. This doesn't do jack shit against Mystery Flare. Three free turns, blah blah blah. But yeah, this card is nice. I run this as again as a 2 off. You only go to this if you really need to. If you're fighting a forest clan, 12k. If you're going sack first, you slap this on the Vanguard circle. They're they need to do something, or they're gonna need plus power, but they're not. A lot of the times they're not gonna do that. This especially good against Spike Brothers. A lot of their stuff are 10k base when going grade 2 rushing, and they need to call boosters for their attacks, and their Vanguard is going to be 10k because they're going to run the grade 2 that they can attack from back row. I don't know the card name, but yeah, I run this as a 2 off because it's just nice to have. I have room for it, I have space. And I don't want to run any more great ones, to be honest. Running a lot of great ones break this deck. And this is just, again, a way to not get rushed, but you're still gonna get rushed anyway because of the meta. Anyways, for the great ones, I'm running slightly less great ones than I want, but again, running too much great ones is a pain in the ass because you only have 50 cards. 33 cards, realistically. 32 cards realistically. Because element, like, I run elementary as sanctitude as a one off, only as a two off, Yokusen as a two off, uh Unen as a 3 off, Sakura Fubuki as a 3 off, and then the grade 3 searcher as a 3 off, the V grade 3 searcher. I'm not gonna explain the grade 3 searcher, Sakura Fubuki, and Unen, because I'm tired of explaining their skills, where they're good, blah 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 blah. If you want explanation, go to another video. uh For the great ones, for the other great ones, Yokusen, because I have space. That's it. This is the only reason on why I run this, because I have space. And again, with Zanki, you can call Sakura Fubuki and then write to a grade 3, activate Kyokusen's skill to put it to bot from drop, because you have a face up counter charge. You have a face up damage. I run this as a 2 off. I don't explain that much again. Honestly, to be honest, near useless. Especially against ripples. Why? Because they're going to have Tavas. They're going to retire all of your Honolys, and you're gonna get screwed anyway, because the meta is the meta. But just in case, if you fight the occasional gold paladin stuff, I know gold paladin stuff now is a bit more whack with the decks. I haven't really seen Azul. All I see is Gurgut or Holy Shit Dragon, or both. But a lot of the times it's either Gurgut or Holy Shit Dragon, or both in the deck. And then Elementary Sanctitude. Let me explain it. Let me just give you a specifications on this card. It's a grade 1 order card. It's a grade 1 blitz order card. It has It is a sentinel, continuous sentinel. So you can just run 4 PGs plus this. This counts as a sentinel. This counts as a sentinel, yeah. And that's why I only run 3 draw PGs here. I'm gonna explain why later again. And then the second skill is very important. You may only have one of elementary sanctitude in your deck. So you just need to buy one and then you're done. I don't know what I've seen some people buy four and then putting four in the deck, not realizing you may only use this one copy in a deck. So I know multiple person that does that, and they lost a lot of money because of that. But then again, they can just sell it. I know I'm proxying this because mine is still in the mail and I impatient of waiting 2 months um, for it to go for it to arrive here from Japan. Yes, I need to buy it from Japan and it's very expensive just for a single card that is mandatory. I know. Um, so the actual fact when you play this is if your opponent's Vanguard has triple drive, you may play this card without paying its cost. Let me give you an explanation. If your opponent, let's say, have this, Giacomo, have a grade 4 stride, they have triple drive as an innate ability. You can pay it without its cost. If your opponent has a triple drive Vanguard and then they give +1 drive, you can still use Elementaria Sanctitude without paying its cost because it's technically still a triple drive Vanguard, but it's a +1 drive, not changing the actual innate symbol ability thing. Um, so yeah, this is basically a fuck you to Unibird. This is a fuck you to Dimension Police as a whole, hell, even to God Restricts as a whole, because not even Gas Steel can counter this because it's not an auto ability. You just play this. And I need to explain with a Vanguard active +1 drive again. Daihouzan is a twin drive Vanguard, and when it attacks, you get +1 drive. You still need to pay the cost of Elementary Sanctitude when you want to play Elementary Sanctitude. If your opponent has a twin drive Vanguard but technically has triple drive, have 3 drives because technically it's still a twin drive Vanguard, but it has 3 drives. Um, yeah, because twin drive and triple drive is different. Twin drive and 2 drive is different. Triple drive and 3 drive is different. So let's say the my Daihouzan attacks +1 drive, pay the cost, and then this is a twin drive unit that is attacking for triple drive. And no, this is a twin drive unit that is attacking for a 3 drive checks. It is not a triple drive. It is just 3 drive checks, but still counts as a twin drive. I've seen a lot of people, don't know the things about uh, you know, sensitive thing about Elementaria Sanctitude. Um, with the triple drive no pay cost thing. This is then again this is built for the grade 4 units for the grade 4 trial deck bosses, like Bastion, Nirvana. Yeah, and then yeah, that's the first thing about this card. Then if your Vanguard is grade 3 or then if your Vanguard is grade 3 or lower, cost discard one to play this card. So if your Vanguard is grade 4, you cannot play this card. No, if your Vanguard is above grade 3, you cannot play this card because the requirement to play this card is if your Vanguard is grade 3 or lower. Yeah, just to let people know because a lot of people forget. And then the effect, and then the third part of the effect is Choose one of your units until the end of battle, it cannot be hit. Yeah. And then remove this card from game. So like assisting, you remove it from the game. You don't put it in drop, you just remove it from the game. This is why this specific card is like super expensive, because it's pretty much a staple in premium next. No negotiation needed. You just run it as a one-off. You don't need to think about it. You just play it as a one-off. Yeah, I know it's a bit extreme, but it's there's a good reason on why this card is expensive, and it's not just for standard. It's for premium too. Yeah, that's the normal units and the thing, and I'm going to now reveal to you my grade 0 lineups. OT, Dragon Empire OT, 3 draw pages, 4 crit stride, 4 the crit soul, the new crit soul. Not the new crit soul, but the premium collection crit soul. Grade 3 heals. Starter. Don't need to Ooh. Don't need to explain what the starter does. Don't need to explain what the grade 3 heal is. Why is the grade 3 heals. I don't need to explain the draw pages. I don't need to explain the OT. I don't but let me explain about the 8 crits. Before elementary sanctitude, you run 4 draw pages and 7 crits. Since you have elementary sanctitude now, when it comes out, you run 8 crits crits are crits are crits. You cannot have too many crits in a deck. That's what Grand Blue say. That's what any other deck say. And to be honest, I mean, how many games have you lost or win because a crit check and your opponent didn't see it? Huh? So you're at like 2 damage, die liner, and then the die liner's running force 1, so you took it, double crit, and you die. Yeah, this is the power of elementary sanctitude. Here's the thing. Plus 1 crit when your deck before elementary sanctitude is only 11 crits. It's not a big of a difference because the numbers are there. 11 to 12. It's not big. But if you have 7 crits and up it to 8 crits, that's an over 10% difference. Yeah. That's why you run 8 crit standard now. I wish, like, this is why elementary sanctitude is a must one off. Plus, like, you can slot in an extra crit because crits are balanced. Aye. And then yeah, there's a grade zeros. I'm going to explain to you my grade fours. Let's start with Jagomeso, 2 off. Dagoku, 1 off. Yatsuka Lord, 1 off. Who is this name? Gilgal, 1 off. Stupid Kartrine, playset. Mukuro, 1 off. Sukumorakan, the Griji, the 4 limit hand, basically shittier Jamio Kongo, 1 off. Gehorakan, the dominate Gigard, 1 off. And then the who is this called? Gandokurakan. Yeah, Gandokurakan, 2 off. Morelord, 2 off. Morelord, extremely good, no need to explain. Gandokurakan, extremely good, I don't need to explain. The Gehorakan, right? Yeah, Gehorakan, 1 off, don't need to explain why. Sukumurakan. It's needs a bit of explanation. This card is extremely good. This card limits how many your opponent has. This card limits how many hands your opponent have. Has I don't know English is hard. Basically, this limits your opponent's hand into 4 hands, and then they got their cards back. It requires to counterblast though, and it flips. Yeah, and then it flips a card in your G zone face up. This is why you run. This is why I run Zanki as a one-off. Zanki plus this card is very nice, especially though you need to have Zanki already placed in the last turn because you need the Soul Blast one. Because realistically, you're gonna only have one face up damage 99%, not 99% of the time, but a lot of the times. So yeah, this card is one of your many finishers. But to be honest, if you go into this guy, you're most probably dead. You know, you're most likely gonna be dead. Because Rene is a card. No, wait, hold up. Mukuro. Board wipe, your opponent can't do jack shit about it. Move on. Rene. I don't explain what Rene does. 4 off. You go. Because you have a slot open. Next. Yatsuka Lord. Yatsuka Lord is an extremely funny card, in my opinion. This makes your opponent think more. And in Nubatama, cards that makes your opponent think more is basically good. Because to be honest, because your opponent, like, in a tournament setting, don't you usually don't want to waste as much as your energy. You don't want to waste energy because let's say you're in a, you know, 6 round tournament. 6 rounds is a lot unless you're playing super fast, like really super fast, and you don't care about winning. But yeah, this card near you, this, you know, you don't really need to think much. But people who want to actually win needs to think a bit more, and this card makes your opponent think more. And basically, cards that makes your opponent think more, in my opinion, are good. Is good. Because this card is this card makes your opponents think a lot. Um, Pray to God that they're tired, and you play this card. Hope that they do a misplay, and then prepare for, you know, gaining a lot of advantage because your opponent fucked up. Also, by the way, this works with um, Mizukaze a lot more than people think. Yeah, this basically, I mean, not than a lot of people think, but this card works with Mizukaze a lot because it's Mizukaze. The Yeah, I run this as a one-off. The Goku as a one-off. Then again, I have the slot for it, and this card is super funny sometimes. By mean that I mean this card. So I need to have a bit of explanations, but this card is not for everyone. I know, but this card has a lot of situational use. But to be honest, this card can win you games on the spot because your opponent forgot that they because your opponent forgot that they used a stride that has an on attack skill, auto on attack skill, and they flip the exact same thing, and then you just hold and then use this and then do that to them. So yeah, I don't need to explain that a lot. And then to Jakumeso, because this is one of the only ways that you can plus for free. Well, not for free, but the only reliable ways that you can plus without requiring a counterblast. But to be honest, you this is basically a counterblast one anyway because you're gonna have Yamishibuki unless you have Gyokusen and Magatsu. And yeah, um, that is my Daihouzan deck for the current day. I know this video, the deck sounds a bit weird to a bit of you, but against ripples, there's no lot of in Nubatama. There's no lot of ways to fight against ripples. Yeah, I can't really say anything anymore about that. If you're fighting ripples and you're not, using ripples, pray to God that they fucked up hard because ripples is a brain dead deck. I need to buy ripples to play the fucking game. That's how bad ripple is right now. How broken it is. I know like this is a card game, but then again, this is a children's card game where young adults play and take it way too seriously. Uh, oh god, I already can see comments saying, "Oh, this is blah 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 blah." Come on, man! Don't try to do copium. Don't take copium. Like me taking copium because Eugene didn't get anything in DBD06. Okay, who the fuck see like the majority of people, who the fuck thinks that you playing a fucking card game can be successful if it's not magic, if it's not the big three: Magic the Gathering, Pokemon, and Yu-Gi-Oh. Not much. You can blame, you can say, oh, but Vanguard is pretty big. Here's the thing with Vanguard. uh, it's not as competitive as people think. It's not Yu-Gi-Oh! It's not Magic. It's not Pokemon. And hell, even Pokemon. The reason on why you play Pokemon is that you don't play Pokemon. You just have the cards. Uh, Pokemon cards are extremely expensive. That's why you can be a seller for Pokemon, and you can be a pro player being sponsored by um if you play Magic and you play Yu-Gi-Oh, because Magic and Yu-Gi-Oh is actually big enough to be, you know Magic and Yu-Gi-Oh. And you can have life revolving around those games. For a Vanguard, it's not big enough yet. I keyword yet. Uh, yeah, that's my 3 minutes of ranting. Vanguard is a funny game, ha ha ha. And that's 30 minutes of me explaining why Nubatama is in a bad position right now. At least if you compare it to the meta, it never has really been good unless you count hell. The only reason why Nuba has stopped is because of Jamyo Congo, but we don't have Jamyo Congo anymore. I know it's a crutch, but I mean, have you seen the results? Hanzo is like Hanzo and Shiranui are topping someone, but those decks have high roll in them. And to be honest, if you're taking the game seriously, you probably have enough money for meta decks. And if you actually want to build a career around Vanguard, first of all, why would you build a career around Vanguard? Just get a job or something, get a degree, have a life, get some bitches. Um, and the second thing is, if you revolve your career around Vanguard, you you basically need to tell yourself that I need the best decks currently to compete, and I'm not running Nubatama unless it's meta. That's why green blue is in a lot of good like meta players' hands. That's why Ripple and Mystery Flare is currently being played a lot because it's Mystery Flare and Ripple. Mystery Flare gives you extra turn and Ripple is done. And then you have Narukami, always solid. Um, Order Colony if you're in the Japanese format because Order Colony is very fun to play against. And then on to a certain extent, Bermuda. Uh, yeah, I don't I don't want to explain why Bermuda is in a currently way better position than Nubatama. So yeah, that's a video, I guess. Yeah, 36 minutes of you hearing me talking random stuff. Uh, have a nice day. Like, subscribe, yada yada yada. And I see you later, I guess. Goodbye.